Hello, today I'm going to go over kelp forest lecture. And if you look at this first picture, we have a very nice kelp forest, but you don't see just kelp. You see lots of other things that are living in there. Kelp forests are ecosystems of very high biodiversity. So they have a lot of different types of creatures. Another good example is rainforests, coral reefs. These all have high biodiversity. So kelp forests are underwater ecosystems that contain a large variety of organisms. They are typically found in cold water environments near the coast. Now the coast kind of makes sense because they're going to need sunlight, right? So the shallowest areas are, generally speaking, near coasts of land. Just like regular forests, they need sunlight to grow. So there's a lot of similarities between a regular forest and a kelp forest. This next image shows something called upwelling, and it's very important for kelp forests because upwelling, you see in this image here, brings up this nutrient-rich water. Many kelp forests are found in areas with upwelling. Upwelling occurs when cool, nutrient-rich water is pulled up to the surface. So the reason this water comes up is because winds blow the surface water out to sea. So if this water gets blown out to sea, something has to come up to take its place, and that's these cool, nutrient-rich waters. The kelp forests need those nutrients in order to grow properly. Okay. Let's continue. Multiple types of kelp make up the forest, just like multiple types of trees make up a forest on land. And we can see that here. There's several different types of kelp. Some of them are taller, some of them are shorter. Some of them have big, broad leaves. Some of them have smaller leaves. And then the layering that you get from these different heights of trees, the layering allows for unique environments like canopy, understory, and the forest floor. So each of these areas within the forest will provide habitat for different creatures. Some just live in the canopy, like in our example here. Sea otters are resting and sheltering in the top in the canopy. Some of the fish live in the middle, and then you have some creatures that are all on the forest floor. Giant kelp are the tallest of the kelp types and can reach up to 100 feet. So that's like these ones here, right? That the tallest in these types of kelp forests are the giant kelp. And then some never grow more than a few feet or 10 feet, 20 feet. It all varies. They often reach all the way to the surface and they often reach all the way to the surface of the water and provide shelter for sea otters. So sea otters wrap themselves up in this giant kelp that floats, where the tops of it float on the surface, okay? I've got a map here. You can see one is from 2008 and one's from 2019. And what you're seeing is how much of the canopy of the kelp beds are exposed. So in yellow, these are all the floating parts of the giant kelp that are drifting on the surface. And then in the 2019, you don't see any of that canopy. Like all other ecosystems on the planet, kelp forests are endangered and shrinking in size. Threats come from rising ocean temperatures, pollution, and biodiversity loss. So we're seeing this all over the planet. Coral reefs are another good example, where you had once an abundant kelp forest, and now that kelp forest is diminished or shrinking. And there's many factors that contribute to that. Unfortunately, just about all of them are human caused. Overharvesting of sea otters in the 1800s led to a population crash. So there was a whole bunch of sea otters all the way from Alaska down to San Diego. And they were overhunted for their furs primarily. And their population almost crashed down to zero. They are coming back, fortunately, but slowly. Without sea otters to eat sea urchins ate and killed many kelp forests, leaving behind urchin barrens. And that's what you see in these two videos. A healthy kelp forest, and then one that has been chopped down, for use, or lack of a better term, by all these purple sea urchins. They come along, they chew at the base, and then the kelp just floats away. No more forest. All right, I hope this helps. Thank you very much.